When we think of Greenland, we usually picture this vast, remote, quiet expanse of ice. But what if it's not on the sidelines of history at all? What if it's actually a silent architect, quietly shaping our collective future? Well, let's dive in.
To really get Greenland, you have to see it not just as a place, but as a living, breathing thing. The way our source material puts it is just beautiful. It's this colossal system with its own memory, its own rhythm, and right now it's starting to stir.
And as this silent architect awakens, its actions are sending these massive ripples all across the globe. We're talking about the melting of its ice, the exposure of resources that have been hidden for millennia, and its suddenly crucial strategic location. It's weaving together this incredible new story of science, ancient wisdom, and, some pretty high-stakes geopolitics.
So where do we even begin to understand this awakening giant? Well, we start with the ice itself, because Greenland's ice sheet is so much more than just frozen water. It is one of the most important historical archives on the entire planet, a library written in layers of snow and ice going back hundreds of thousands of years.
So how do scientists actually read this library? They drill deep, deep down into the glaciers to pull out these things called ice cores. Seriously, just think of them as frozen manuscripts. Each and every layer is like a page, preserving a perfect snapshot of Earth's atmosphere from the exact moment that snow fell. And what a story these manuscripts tell. By analyzing tiny air bubbles trapped inside, scientists can measure past CO2 levels and tell you what the temperature was. They can see layers of ash from ancient volcanic eruptions. They even find microbes, literally frozen in time. This ice gives us the hard data we need to understand our planet's past and to model its future. And that, right there, brings us to the central crisis. As our world heats up, this completely irreplaceable library is melting. And it's melting at a speed we've never seen before. We're not just losing ice, we are losing data. It's like a one-of-a-kind library is on fire, and every single page that vanishes is a piece of our planet's history and a vital clue to our future, gone for good.
But here's the twist. The melting ice isn't just erasing the past. It's also revealing what's been locked away for eons. A treasure trove of minerals, absolutely essential for our modern world, is now coming to the surface.
We are talking about rare earth elements. Our source material calls them subterranean observatories, which is such a cool way to put it. It's because they give us this window into the very building blocks of our technological society. And believe me, these aren't just some obscure minerals. They are the literal foundation of our high-tech future.
And this is where it gets really personal for all of us. I mean, the phone in your pocket, the electric car you might be thinking of buying, the wind turbines that generate clean energy, all of it, every single thing, depends on these minerals that are now becoming accessible under Greenland's retreating ice.
Now, to understand this radically changing landscape, you actually need two very different kinds of intelligence. On one hand, you have the ancient, time-tested wisdom of the indigenous Inuit people. And on the other, you've got the cutting-edge power of artificial intelligence.
Okay, so check this out. On the left side, we have what's called analog intelligence, the Inuit's living map, which is encoded in stories and songs and this incredibly deep reading of environmental cues. Then on the right, you have what our source calls mechanical ravens, which is basically AI-driven mapping using satellites and LiDAR to chart the ice with unbelievable precision. It's just a fascinating contrast, right? This deep human connection versus exacting cold data. So you take the melting ice, the newly exposed resources, and this new strategic location, and that whole combination has transformed Greenland into something else entirely, a quiet fulcrum for 21st century geopolitics. Its importance on the world stage is, frankly, growing exponentially.
So here's how it all connects, step by step. The Arctic ice melts, which opens up new, much shorter shipping routes between continents. That, combined with this new access to all those rare earth minerals, has turned the world's attention northward. And suddenly, Greenland isn't this remote outpost anymore. It's central.
And you know the rule. Wherever there's strategic importance, the major world powers are sure to follow. The United States, China, Russia, the EU, they're all intensifying their focus on the region. We're talking investment, diplomacy, even military presence. Greenland has become this new, quiet chessboard for global ambitions. Which brings us to the core dilemma, the huge question at the heart of all this. For Greenland, and honestly for the entire world, it boils down to this. Do we chase the immense economic opportunity that's right there for the taking? Or do we prioritize environmental stewardship for one of the planet's most fragile and important ecosystems? It is an incredibly delicate, high-stakes balancing act.
So, what's the big takeaway from all this? Well, the story of Greenland isn't just a story about a changing climate. It's actually offering us a blueprint, a really powerful set of lessons for the kind of world we are all building together.
Ultimately, the most crucial point is this. We just can't think of these things as being separate anymore. The environment isn't separate from the economy, culture isn't separate from technology, and power is definitely not separate from geography. Greenland shows us, in the starkest way possible, that all these forces are deeply, deeply intertwined, and our future really depends on us understanding those connections.
Our source material leaves us with this really powerful idea that Greenland's breath, its memory, its very will, it's all shaping the unfolding story of our planet. The shifting of its ice is whispering what's to come. And so we'll end with this question for you to think about. To listen to Greenland is to hear the future. So, are we listening?